absolute pain in the backside, and probably a few other words to go with that. He loved to cause problems with people. You know, he just wanted to see people fighting. He just caused issues all the time. Anyway, besides that, a lot of stress, lots and lots of stress. You worked for a you had a basic wage. Excuse me, I think I just swallowed a fruit fly. I'll just have a little drink. I hope he enjoys that ride down. Okay, so yeah, so it was very stressful. You have a basic wage, then you have to every month reach different records, you know, that they have set for the month, and he would put you under extra stress. So I was working quite well. I had lost some weight. I was walking. I used to say to the young guys, no, you know, I don't want to take the golf cart. I just want to walk, because it was sort of up a bit of a hill, so it was good cardiovascular. But I don't think those young fellows will ever walk anywhere, because I woke at 2 o'clock on the 2nd of July, having what I didn't know at the time was a heart attack. So I rang, well, I actually walked downstairs. I took a couple of Panamax, Panadol, whatever it is, a little bit of a painkiller, went back upstairs, sat on the side of my bed. 10 minutes later, it hadn't subsided. I rang over here. They have 13 Health, or here in Australia, you all know 13 Health. I rang them and I said, hey, this is what's happening. Anyway, they said they thought I might be having a heart attack and that they would send an ambulance. The ambulance arrived in 7 minutes. Now, I just want to stop and share with you here, because a lot of people think that having a heart attack is grabbing of the chest. They think it's pain, you know, jaws. They think it's pain in the back. There's all different types. And maybe, you know, watching movies hasn't done it so good to be able to know exactly what the symptoms are, or if you are in fact having a heart attack. Now, one of the things that I realized was that women actually have heart attacks a little bit different to men. And my pain was right in my sternum. It was right up under my rib cage. It was quite painful. I did have some pain in my jaw, and I had a little bit of pain in my shoulder arm type area. Little did I know that I was having a heart attack. Anyway, the ambulance came. They took me off to hospital, took some bloods, you know, blood pressure, all the bits and pieces that go with it. Took me into a hospital, because in Australia, they take you to the closest hospital. They took me there. Obviously, I was fairly highly drugged, because I don't remember a lot after that. That evening, I was taken to the PA hospital in Brisbane, where they had the heart specialists. Now, I sat there for a week. I had, I don't know, a fever of something. They had to get that under control. They did an angiogram, which means that they go in through one of your main arteries into the heart to see where the blockages are. So they put in like a dye and they see where these blockages show up. After that, I had found that I had 100% blockages in 2 of my main arteries and 50% in the other. So I had already been blessed with life, because their 2 main arteries were blocked. You know, there was a lot of blood capillaries feeding my heart, yet I had no side effects. I was still walking. I was still, you know, had lost some weight and things like that. So everything seemed fine. So it was a big shock. But, you know, as I went closer into time, I really didn't know what open heart surgery meant. I know that it was, I was going to have my chest cut open, but I didn't know what was going to be the effects of that afterwards. Now, you know, fast forward a little bit, just to know that there are people in some hospitals, particularly for heart victims and other victims, where volunteers go around and actually speak with the heart victims, you know, the open heart surgery people. Don't like to call us victims, but it's exactly what you feel like sometimes. I I just want to say a big acknowledgement and thank you to those people. I didn't have that. So I was sort of going in a little bit like, this is a bit, I don't know. I just don't know. So I had to pray about it because praying is all I had, really. I had prayers going off around, from my family, my sisters, my friends, everybody. My beautiful friend Diane actually brought a meal in for me of what I really wanted to eat. So, when you look back, you sort of think, oh, did they think this wasn't going to be, or was it going to be my end day? Anyway, they're all beautiful blessings. So I just want to say that after the heart surgery, I went through extremities of pain, pain that you would not wish to have on anybody else, even your worst enemy. It was so painful that I used to cry a lot. I was only in hospital 6 days before they sent me home. They had actually put me into a ward with 4 men, which in one way was sort of a little bit surprising, but it was also very comforting. I know one gentleman across there was saying, one person was saying, Narelle, are you okay? I can hear you crying every night. But the pain was so bad I couldn't even get into bed. So, if there's something that you can go by, it's always listen to somebody who's been through something that you might need to go through. So if you want to share or, ask me any questions along the way, please put them in the chat and I will answer them as I go along. So going into have this open heart surgery coming out, feeling extremities of pain, not having the feelings of anything. I had lost who I was. I was just dealing with the pain day in, day out. So went home, came back via ambulance straight away that night because the pain was so bad. They had not given me enough pain killers to cope with that sort of pain. So back into hospital for a couple more nights, back home, then got severely constipated because of the painkillers. That's what they do. That's their side effect, but they didn't tell me. So back in via ambulance again in extreme pain. I think I screamed the hospital down in emergency, just having to deal with that situation. You're not supposed to be yelling, screaming, pulling, carrying anything because of the big cut down the middle of your chest, So sometimes you've got to ask yourself, what are these people thinking that are in nursing situations? And please don't get me wrong, there are amazing nurses out there and doctors, but there are some that I think are just there for the pay packet. They are certainly not there on an emotional, consoling, comforting type level. Anyway, we are here where we are today. Why? Because I'm blessed by the dear Lord above. So, life goes on. I got a frozen shoulder after I had open heart surgery. Again, extreme pain. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you have to question yourself, why? Not why me, but why all the pain? Why do I have to go through this, Lord? Because in my life, I've been through adversities. I've been through hard times, and I will speak about that on another live because I do plan on going live quite regularly. Firstly, talking about different things and experiences that I've had in life, but not only that, being able to bring people on so that I can shine the light on you, because I think that's really important. Today's society, there's too much of you need to be like this or speak like this or look like this or say it this way. And I don't believe that. I have been through enough in my life. I've written my book. My book is called Blonde Roots. I wrote it back a few years ago now, but it's still relevant because it's my journey through domestic violence, sexual, physical, and mental abuse. You can actually take a look at my website, which we'll go to shortly. So one of the things I found was that, my questioning why maybe was because I needed to become stronger in my faith and trust that everything would work out. Now, some of us in life have to go through things more than others. And I don't believe that my journey has been as bad as some. Okay, there's many out there who suffer in terrible situations. And I'm just so thankful that the Lord blessed me with life, because that day when I did the research on heart attacks, it said that 60% of people who have a heart attack when they're asleep do not wake up. Now, I was asleep. It was my pain that had woken me. You know, so today I celebrate 9 years on the 9th of July, 2024. And boy, am I so excited just to be here, just to share with you, and just to say thank you to the Lord for bringing me through. I believe that we all have a purpose. And I believe that there are things that we have to experience in life so that we can help others more. And some of those things are not always the best of things. They're trials, they're troubles, they're hard to deal with, they're pain, they're open heart surgery, for goodness sake, 54. You know, who would have thought? You know, I suppose now more about my health and how I can look at different ways of doing that. And again, I will bring that into a different live. So if there's any questions, please pop them in now, because I'd love to share them with you. Love to share with you. If there's anything, maybe you know somebody who's had open heart surgery. Maybe you cared for somebody who had open heart surgery. And while I'm saying that, I just want to say a huge thank you to my son, who stepped up to be my carer, my full-time carer. There are a lot of things after heart surgery that people go back and they're fine. And there's some of us like myself, where coming from a place of domestic violence, coming from the strength that I've always had to get back up and keep going, has me in a situation after the frozen shoulder to not be able to do a whole heap of things. And one of the things that I struggled with was that I couldn't do the things I used to do. And as a single mum, I have 3 beautiful children, my son and 2 daughters and 1 granddaughter. I'm very proud of who they are and their experience through growing up in my life as well. So I really appreciate the fact of being able to share those experiences so that you all know. Now, there was a message there. I just was going to get to it, but I just didn't see it, from Jean. And yeah, it is a unique journey. And I think, you know, we all have this certain amount of strength within us. You know, it comes from our parents, or it comes generational. You know, sometimes my mum, bless her, and my dad are both gone now. And thank you, Jean. Yes, I'm hoping that we can all be inspirational to others. And all our journeys are certainly different. Just going back to, you know, what comes through generational. My mum was a little bit, you know, beautiful woman, giver, kindest heart, beautiful laugh. The thing is, back in their day, things were swept under the carpet, so things weren't discussed. And I think in today's society, hi, Joni, lovely to see you. May you always stay healthy, and may God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. So much love from my heart to yours, and to Jean as well, and everybody who's here. I can't see everybody, so this is a different way of doing things. Yeah, so, you know, when things get brushed under the carpet, they don't get dealt with. So for years you carry stuff. Releasing that into my book, releasing my past life of who I was, how I grew up, the things that I went through, right from being sexually abused as a young girl, very young, and then raped, and then, you know, the things that I went through because of the non-communication, let's just call it that. But we grow, we change, and we try and change for our own children. My girls, my son, all independent young people. And I miss that, in a sense of being able to look after them all, but they're all adults now. So, but my son said to me, my son was born very premature, weighed 1.12 pounds. And he said to me, Mum, you looked after me when I was born. He should have died the first night. He was so critically ill when he was born. And now for him to step up and look after me full time is an absolute blessing. So we need to look, where do you look for the blessings in your life? Because this isn't just about me and my story. This is about you and your story. And how much do you actually, have you pushed down? Have you thought that you had let it go? Because I can tell you and almost guarantee that you haven't, you know. And one of the things is it's learning how to do that. So I'd like to interact with people because I have had a big journey, because I've experienced so much in my life. I want to be here for you. I want you to know that there's a place here that you can come, that you can be a part of, or a part of a group. Let's just say, I don't like calling it anything. So let's just get together and have a chat. You know, if you want to ask questions, if you want to come on, I will be bringing people on in the near future. I just wanted to share a little bit about myself today, what I've been through, and celebrate that 9-year Heartversary, we call it. So be blessed and remember that you are unique. You are important. You are worthy. You are enough. And don't you dare let anybody else tell you that you're not. My name's Narelle Warcon. I am here and I am sharing very real and very raw. I'm willing to, you know, open up and speak to anybody about anything, and also share the journey of others as well. So I do appreciate you being here. Now we do have, remember, my book, narellewarcon.com is my website. I'll just show you briefly what that looks like, if I can remember how to get there. So if we just go over to the website, I'll just show you quickly, just so you know that you're on the right website, but it's certainly narellewarcon.com. And there we are. Yes, I've changed a little bit over the years, so but I am still the same person inside. Remember that. We all age, we all change. But I do want to also share with you that I do share some little blogs. Now, they're not too long. Look, over the years, I sort of started, I stopped, I started, I stopped because of things happening in my life. When you're not, like after open heart surgery, I basically sort of came with anxiety and depression. Now, I don't believe I have depression, but I know I suffer from anxiety. So anxiety is something that comes on so quickly that you don't even realize. And when you've been such a strong, healthy, working person, it's like, what the heck is this? You know, what the heck is this? What they call anxiety. So I like to create. I'm a florist by trade. I've had my own florist businesses for many years, so I love flowers and I just love to create. So the picture here is showing flowers because that's what I love. But I love creating and I do little videos. My blogs are sometimes just a written word, just short. It's just an inspirational way of you having a look. At my blog page, you can see that it's there. It says blog up the top of my main website, and you can go into there and have a look and just have a little read. You can do it daily for a little bit of inspiration. I don't carry on. I don't go into a lot of anything just yet. I prefer to do lives. I prefer to share with you who I am, and so that I can in turn share who you are. So my blessing is to you to thank you. Thank the dear Lord for my life. Thank you for having to go through that, what I went through, so that I could be who I am today. Thank you all for watching, and I ask that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're growing it slowly, so subscribe. I do my little videos on there. I will be placing my lives on there in future as well, so they're there for you to watch the recording if you missed today's live. Please ring the bell for notifications. It's not going to go off all the time, but please ring the bell for all notifications and you will get them directly to you. I'm on Facebook. As you know, I do have a business called ONPASSIVE, and one day I will be talking about that as well. Like I said, today's just about my 9-year anniversary and sharing a little bit about myself, so you know who I am, and soon we will know who you are. I think that's about all today. Oh, I did have a statistic and I wanted to share this with you because I think it's hugely important. We don't necessarily look this up, but did you know in 2022, it was the underlying cause of death, that's cardiovascular disease, was the cause of death in 45,000 deaths, and every 12 minutes in Australia, someone dies from either heart attack, heart disease, or any of those. So isn't that just wrong? Now, I'll just tell you the other one because this is for the US people. Okay, in the US, someone dies of cardiovascular disease every 34 seconds. Yes, that's right, 34 seconds. That equates to approximately 1,905 deaths each day, and that includes heart attacks. So let's have a look at that, and we will expand on it another time, okay? But I think that people need to be looking at what they're putting in their mouth. Sugar has become such an addiction these days that you might as well be on the really hard drugs, so to speak. Sorry, I just need to do that. Yeah, so we really need to look at that, and we will look at that very soon again on another live, because I think it's important that, you know, these statistics are there not to scare us, but to make us aware of what is actually happening. Now, if you've never been involved with heart attacks or people with heart disease or any of those, there's a lot of other different diseases out there. And I'm not just talking about heart here, but if you're not involved or know somebody in these situations, you just let it go. You think, I'm fine. You know, I probably did that as well. I probably thought, I'm fine. I'll be okay. My mum had open heart surgery, but I did not think I was going to, not at a young age. Mum was 77. You know, I was 54. Dad had 2 heart attacks and a stroke. But I still didn't think that was going to happen to me. My brother had open heart surgery. He's the eldest in our family, and he has passed away, mainly because he had dialysis and had complications with that. And I have 5 sisters. I'm the only one that's had open heart surgery in the girls, but they all do keep a very close eye on their heart, and it's really important. So I'm putting it out there to you today. If you feel anything that's a little bit different, particularly as a woman, as a man, it doesn't matter who you are actually, go and get it checked out, because you can have a small heart attack and not even know that you've had it. You can have blocked arteries and not even know that you have blocked arteries, just as I did. Remember, I went in 100% blockage in 2 of my main arteries and 50% in the other. How was I surviving? Why was I surviving? You know, it's just a question that you need to ask yourself. What can I do to better myself? As we grow older, yes, 63, I'm starting to feel so much better within myself because I have changed my way of eating, and it was really helping me. I am type 2 diabetes. I've reduced my medication. It'll take another few months yet before I'm off of it, but man, I've reduced it by over half, you know, just by taking and changing the way that I or the food that I eat, let's put it that way. So let's do this again. I really enjoy each and every one of you that has joined me today. I hope that I have brought you some sort of value or information, or that you just like listening to me as an Aussie girl. But I'm here. You know where I am. I'm around on the internet quite regularly. Like I said, check out my narellewarcon.com. If you want to purchase the book in Australia, you can get a signed copy from me if you just reach out to me. I can organize that for you. On the website, it's also available on amazon.com.au, I believe. So if you search for Blonde Roots, BLONDE, yes, I know it's spelled different to the US, Blonde Roots, ROOTS, and put my name, Narelle Warcon, then you will certainly go right through to me and be able to purchase the downloadable. So a lot of that is the old me, and I am actually way past due to write my second book. So look out for that as well, because that's in the making. And we've just got to have, probably 50 more years to fit everything in. So I really appreciate it. Love to you all. I would love to share with you a video about my why. This was really important to me through my whole life, but this video was put together by a friend of mine. Hey, Gillian, lovely to see you. It was put together by a friend of mine when I had my book launch. And it was really important because one of the major things that have been of importance in my life are my children. My children mean so much to me because at the age of 21, I was told that I had 5% chance of ever having children. I was not healthy on the inside. I was not born with all the bits that you're supposed to have. And again, another subject, another day. And I had very preemie babies. So please watch my why as we leave now. I do appreciate your time. I know it's gone on a little bit today because of the problem with the sound in the beginning. But please reach out. I would love to hear any remarks, what I can improve. I always look forward to that. But yeah, I do appreciate. I hope you love the format that we're using. And remember, reach out if you need a hand with anything. So we'll go over to the recording, and hopefully, like I said, everything's brand new today, so we're going to get better. And by the time you come on, it will be